Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I am busy on the second front. I'm doing the right front of this cardigan now. It's been 2.5 years in the making, this one. I thought it's about time I got it finished. I don't usually wear cardigans in the winter. I always wear sweaters in the winter. But this one needed to be finished because it had been going on that long. So I thought, seeing as I'd finished a lot of other things I was doing, I was going to get onto it and finish it. Which is, like I said, I have the back and one of the fronts, and this is the second front, and I have just a little couple of minute video just to show you, well, to give you an insight in what it might look like when it's finished. I've laid it out flat on my floor, and when I measured it, I realised that I am a little bit bigger than I was when I first started it, because I thought it was going to be too big for me when I first started, after I had done the back. But I realise now it'll probably be okay, it'll probably fit me okay, but there's a little bit video for you to see just what it's actually going to look like. So I'll stop this video and then start that one and let you see what I've been doing with it. This is how my cardigan is looking at the moment, and this stitch down the middle is the very centre of the back, and I was going to use these ends as the band, but as you can see, the other band's going to come to about the middle of here, the other part, so I have to knit a band. I was just going to put buttonholes on this side because I thought it was going to be a bit big, but there's going to be quite a gap from there to there, so I will need to do a band on it. But that's how it's looking at the moment. At least I got that other piece finished. I can start on the other side now. So that's what my cardigan's going to look like when I get a bit more done. I'll be able to show you a bit more of it. But the actual pattern, it's my own design that I'm doing, the style of the cardigan and everything. But the actual pattern, the stitch, this was a pattern, well, a stitch pattern I found on it was on a child's cardigan. And I've done more or less the same, except this little bit in the centre here was only 2 stitches on the pattern. I have to work out which way to move my needles because this picture is the opposite way around to what my other ones are. So this stitch here is 4. I've got 4 stitches here, where the actual pattern that I found the pattern on, the stitch on, was only 2 here, but everything else is the same across the single slip stitch and the knit stitch on either side of the slip stitch. And I just altered this little bit in the middle to make it a little bit wider, or else it would have had these slip stitches closer together on the actual child's pattern. So I just worked it out to suit myself, to what I wanted. I wanted the stitches a little bit wider apart. So that's all I altered on the actual stitches. The rest, everything else is just the same. So I'm doing what I can of this, trying to get it finished. Like I said, I don't normally wear cardigans in the winter. I do prefer sweaters, but like I said, this one needs to be finished because it's been going on that long. But anyway, I'll put that down in a minute and I'll show you what else I have been doing. This is the This is a 24-inch cardigan I'm doing for the cable and garter stitch pattern that I'm doing, and I've done the just one of the fronts. I've done one piece of each. I've done the back, one sleeve, and one of the fronts. And as this is going to be a cardigan with a collar, you do the band. I'm actually doing one of the bands on the front at the moment, because I can do that. I can work that out with, because when you do a collar, you start halfway, you pick your stitches up halfway across the top of the band. That's why you do the front bands first. So that's what I can do with this one. But I have the other pieces that I've done. That's the back. One of the sleeves. That's where to go, one of the sleeves, and this is the, I think that's the right way, the right side. That's this is the left front on it. And that's all I need to do for to work out the rest of the pattern, because this is the last size on the pattern. This is a 24-inch. And as this is the last size, I'm going to try to work the pattern out so I can print it out. And I can work the rest of what I have to do on this cardigan from the pieces that I've already done here, because the sleeves are the same. The two sleeves are exactly the same. And the fronts are the same, really, just you're reversing the shaping on it. So, you know, you do the opposite side to where you cast off the stitches for the armholes, and the same with the neck. So, and then I can work out how many stitches I need to pick up for the collar and how many rows I need to do for the collar. So, and then I can work out from the from this band. I can work out from this band. I know how many stitches I have to pick up on that with doing this part. There's 94 stitches here. And then I can work out exactly where I'm going to put the buttonholes for the other side when I do the other side. So that's all I need to know for that one. And then I can start writing out the pattern for it. But I think all these patterns I'm doing, I think it's robbing me of sales, because I'm not selling a lot of these things that I'm knitting for doing the patterns. I'm not selling a lot of them because everybody's just waiting for the pattern so they can knit them themselves. So I've done myself out of sales for a lot of these things I'm knitting. But I suppose that's the way things go, isn't it? I can put that back down now, and I still have one or two other things. I'm having to wear these things today because my hands were aching this morning. And I don't know why, because I didn't do any crochet yesterday. All I did was knitting. And it's usually the crochet that makes my hands ache, especially my thumb. And it's going down this thumb. The ache is going down my thumb, down to my wrist. It's a repetitive strain. I don't suppose it'll make any difference whether I'm knitting or crocheting. I'll probably still get it. But I've done this piece up to now. That's how far I've got. I'm not, it might be about 6 inches. I'll just measure it and see how far I've got on it. Yes, I've done not quite 6 inches, and it's going to be about, I think it'll be about 8.5 inches. I'll measure my bag. This is my own little bag that I made. I could do with another one actually, like this one's getting a bit tatty. Let's see what size this one came out. I think it was 8.5. It's 8.5 to 9 inches. 9 inches probably at the most. That one. That's my one little bag. And you know, it's big enough for keeping things like that in. And I have some very large. If I can get this one out. It's opened up. It should be shut. some very large stitch holders, and it's bag's wide enough for things like that. And that's more or less what I keep in here, all things like that. But it's wide enough for crochet hooks. I'm catching that on there, and it's in. A lot of other things. I have lots of other things, pins and also tape measure. I have a tape measure and I have little scissors. One of those little, you know, those tape measures like that. Doesn't work as well as it used to, that one. That's it. Tape measures, things like that. That's what I keep inside here. Little things for putting on the end of your needles too, you know, to stop the stitches coming up when you're not knitting. That's all sorts I keep in there. A lot of people, they want them for their crochet hooks, but I have my crochet hooks. I have another bag here, just a small one I've made just for my that's all I've got in here, crochet hooks, all the different size hooks. But I do have, where is it, that one? I do have a set of the Zing ones, which I don't keep in there. They are in a their own little box folder thing. But this one's here because I'm using it at the moment. There's a 4.5, I think this one is, yes. So that's what I'm doing with the crochet. I'm going to do that until it's about between 8.5 and 9 inches, and then I'll have to sort out the lining and the zip and that for it. So that's another one of, that's the third thing I'm working on. But I'm also got this one here, which I did start a little while ago. I'm going to finish this one as well. But this is for it was for another pattern I was doing. I was going to work out the larger sizes for the blackberry pattern. I was going to do 26 up to maybe 32. I'm not sure, but that's what this one started. This was from the 26-inch pattern, but I'm not sure whether it's going to come out that size because this was a bit finer than what I thought. But anyway, this was to do the larger size for the blackberry, and I'll get that one sorted when I get a bit more time. But in the meantime, this is what I'm doing. But I'm using that's my little bag that I made for keeping the wool in. Now I made just a small loop, but I put on there with a button. It has a button there where you can fasten it on if you want it fastened on. And then you bring the wool through that loop, so you have to have the button on to open it so you can take it off if you want to take the wool out. But I found something with this wool. I prefer it actually sitting next to me on the settee, but something I've noticed with it, when you're pulling the wool out, so you can see from there, the wool tends to go from side to side of the ball when you're pulling it out like that. And sometimes when it's coming through that little loop, as it's trying to go backwards and forwards like that, it pulls up tight on that loop. So I might take that loop out and take it out to the edge there and carry it on all the way across, so that the wool can go backwards and forwards all the way across that hoop instead of through that small little loop. That's what I might do with that, but I'll let you know how it works afterwards, because it still works fine the way it is like that, but now and again the wool does pull up tight through that hole, and it tends to pull the ball up like that. So that's just a little bit work, and I do tend to use this at my side now. I find it's much better just putting it on the settee right next to me, because I had it on the floor before, and where you were going down pulling the wool up from the floor like that way. It's just handy just sitting next to me on the settee. That's what I'm doing that for now. So anyway, I'm just going to knit what I can this afternoon, and I do have my bingo tonight. I've got quite a little bit off there to put in. That's that needle for that. And so I will be going out to pick my friend up later on tonight. We'll be going to bingo, so with a bit of luck we might win a little bit more today than we won last week. So anyway, that's my bit for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.